The verdict in the George Zimmerman case led to a lot of difficult conversations about race, about equal justice, even about gun control. And many adults tend to struggle with those topics. So one question we're asking you about tonight is, what do you say to your kids about these topics when they ask you about them?
It's tough for parents to know how far to go with this. Want to get some advice now from psychologist Dr. Dale Atkins. Doctor, glad you're with us.
Thank you.
You're here to explain what parents should talk about and what they should kind of leave out of these conversations. I guess it depends on the child's age, right?
It absolutely does, Susan. It also depends on what you're comfortable with as a parent. But I think it's really important to avoid certain very graphic details. And also, there was a lot of language that was highly insulting and demeaning that was recorded and we heard if we were watching the, watching the trial. And I think that we don't have to be so specific about that, yet also talk to kids about what happens when we use language that is really diminishing and degrading and stereotypic. That's important, but we don't have to use the actual words.
Dale, what about parents who are out there struggling with the idea of what this verdict may mean? So, for example, parents who are out there saying, how do I talk to my child about the fact that there might be two different systems of justice as I see based on this verdict?
Yes, and I think, Ryan, it's a really important question that we all come to terms with within ourselves. It doesn't mean we agree, but I think it's important that we all, as parents, talk to the children about what this system of justice is. And again, what many parents are doing is talking to their kids about, look, this was a kid who was unarmed, who was walking in a neighborhood where someone saw him and thought something ill and awful was going to be happening. And a kid was profiled for not doing anything except walking in a neighborhood. And that's the conversation that I think many parents need to have, both parents of African-American children and parents of mixed race children and parents of Caucasian children, because you can imagine, what is it like to be judged by your skin color? What is it like to be judged by what you're wearing, where you're walking? These are conversations that all parents can have. And yes, the justice system we need to describe to the kids, because look, there was a prosecution that was put forth and the prosecutors were saying, this is our position, and the jury.
You know, Dale, I'm going to jump in for a second because I can speak to that difference, having experienced it. But at the same time, I think the issue is parents are out there as well saying, my child I thought was too young to learn about people looking at them differently. Now they see this verdict and they may have to have that talk.
They will have that talk. And I think it's really hard. And what I'm saying is every parent should have the talk, whether their child is African-American or not, to say, what is it like? And by not talking about this, we are avoiding a very important topic, which has to do with that we all have attitudes and beliefs about people, groups of people, and we come to conclusions about them without information that is really based on fact.